good morning. Happy Slow Monday. This is me, your host, and Disembodied Hands Quindy, and Disembodied Beard John, and an Earless Coronico, and you are staring at Reaper Pro Tips. Yeah, that's my spiel this morning. Oh, dear. And you and your terror fish, huh? Huh, Marich? All right. We can allow a terror fish to participate in our stream. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I feel like my to-do list just keeps getting, like, more to-do-ish and less to done. And I'm happy that Kuro finished a mini. You're your own little terror. Aww. You'd have something cute and terrorific, Quindy. Alright, I'm going to put some of this crap away because we don't need it. And it's globbing up my space, dang it. Alright. We are going to paint over the armor with a dark blue, and I want to go with... I think this is looking okay. Oh, the David is home. We need to do the tendrils on the bottom. It's our last day of green, and I'll probably block in the base color. Oh, I have a... How could I have missed a support down there? Dang it, where's my glasses? Obviously, I wasn't wearing my glasses. Kiki is all excited. David is home today because he had his follow-up. Are you unstitched? He's unstitched. He went to the follow-up to have his stitches out today, this morning. My husband's unstitched, which is far better than unhinged, although sometimes we wonder about that, too. Salt fish or terror fish if you're a Daphnia. So true.
Was so useless at answering my questions.
What? The doctor was useless at answering your questions?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Like, should I be concerned about this? And should
I was like, and his response was, well, do you want me to take your stitches out or not? And I was like, I don't know.
That's
you're
not,
the doctor.
yeah, you're the expert. Yeah, wow, that's worthless. I would get a new doctor. Or was this like the follow-up?
I'm considering it, yeah.
Oh, is this your main doctor?
This is my main doctor.
Hell yeah, I would totally, like, I would get a new doctor after that. My doctor at least will give me an opinion. Damn.
He was like, oh, it'll be fine.
Oh,
that
all
was
right.
his opinion. It'll be fine.
Well, okay, listen to him then.
And I was like, yeah, but it was like, should I be worried about the inside coming up? Eventually, like, I think he told me that the inside would have healed by now, and it's just the sort of outside
but you had to push
cut.
for it.
But
yeah.
it's like, that was my main question. And I said something about, like...
There we go, guys.
Well, is the muscle knit back together? And he's like, that's not muscle.
Oh, all right.
And
well,
I'm like, well, what is
it? Stream. Go.
Right.
Venting.
I'll stop.
Venting husband.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you get back to your game. But it was super annoying.
Bryce said he could have taken your stitches out.
If I'd taken my stitches out myself, it would have hurt a lot less.
Oh, no.
That was the other thing, is like he really pulled on it when he did it. Is like, I could have done this myself, and it would have not... pulled, and it would have been much better.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the David Doctor rant. But still, he obviously, yeah, there are some things I will fire my doctor over, but, like, if I'm not getting a good vibe from the doctor, I fire them, and I find a new one. Like, you need your doctor to, like, actually be, like, proactive for you, and not a snark. Quindy loves a good rant. She was okay with it.
It was not a very long rant.
No, it was just a short rant. I just didn't want it to go on too long because we just started. Alright. Pardon me, guys. I'm putting Ogre Mage out of the way, although he still needs yet more support things taken off of him. Alright, we are going to get the rest of this green figured out. Although I do want it lighter down there, so I want to very, very slightly... take it up. And I want to add a little bit more white, too, because I definitely don't have the same on each side. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, about his overly nosy patient. Well, yeah, right. Like, what are these patients thinking they have to know things and not question, and question things, right? You should just get my doctor. Though I think she's out of network. Oops. I find that my out of network doctor is cooler than my in network used to. Although actually I had a very good doctor in Texas. I can't say that. I loved my GP in Texas. We got along. You enjoyed it, Kodiak. Probably not that funny for him, yes. Yeah. Yeah. He's never had anything like that before, so he was worried about it. Like you will be if you haven't had like a wound per se. All right, I'm going to mix up. Let's get my palette in view. There we are. Okay, we're using, as usual, our phthalo green, which is going to be the nuclear green, so no worries about not being able to get it. You will soon, or at least when MSP 2.0 comes out, you will be able to get it. It will be your nuclear green, as it should have been ages ago, but miniature painters were less astute back then and did not understand the value of the phthalo green. There we go. And you can mix your old clear green, as I did, by adding 1 drop of elemental yellow to 4 drops of elemental green. Clear elemental. I'm gonna have to get that in my head. It only is a fingertip Marich, so it's not gonna. But it might, if it makes a funny feeling, it will affect his gaming. As far as his computer games. But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, your doctor, like I said, for me, I like my doctors to be advocates for my good health, right? That's what I want out of a doctor. I want a doctor who's gonna answer my questions patiently to the best of their ability. I like a doctor who's also gonna, give me good recommendations, for a specialist if I need one, But, I mean, I guess I'm kind of silly, or not silly. Maybe I'm I'm new-fashioned. I guess I want a doctor who actually gives a crap. so I've gotten kind of picky, I guess is the point. Let me get my dungeon slime of dungeons. And I'm gonna pop a little bit of elemental stuff into that. And then I'm going to go to white. Often I'll start a color scheme, mixing up 4 or 5 different colors, and then as I actually work with that color scheme, I'll realize I only need 3 of those, and this is one of those days. Docs are being counters. Ah, okay. Yes. Yeah, licensed nurse practitioner. I'm actually, Defiant, I'm actually super excited because my regular doctor just got a nurse practitioner. They just hired one on for their office. So that's pretty awesome. Because that means that some of that stuff can be taken, the simple stuff can be taken by the nurse practitioner, which is great. Oh, that makes such a pretty green. Now I want to use this on a mini, not a ghost mini. I love spring greens so much. I'm going to add just a little bit of the yellow to this, though, and thus I'm going to wreck it for my internal and purposes, but make it better for a ghosty horse. Need to punch up the saturation a little bit. A little bit more, actually, I think. Yeah, that's a nice twisted oma. Yeah, exactly, Kodiak. That's my thought. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually like seeing my actual doctor and talking to her about stuff. She is more knowledgeable about certain things like health markers and what they mean than the at least than her her kind of her helper nurse who does like the shots and stuff like that. I assume that Mimi is more her admin, like she checks in patients and does the blood pressure and all that. She's an assistant, but she's not a nurse practitioner. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I hope she gets a really cool nurse practitioner. But I like my doctor. She's like, I was kind of like, I was a little bit off on her in the beginning because she definitely she does, and I think this might be a California thing, but the doctors are very much about what you want. Like, I get the feeling that there are patients who abuse that, but I honestly want to know what the doctor thinks, right? So and I think my doctor has come around to like that's what, and I'm asking her a question. I'm not questioning her or implying we shouldn't do X. I'm just curious, right? So it just took us a while to get our dynamic figured out, but now we're awesome. Like, we talk about a bunch of stuff. We chat while we do our doctor visit. I like that. No problem, Twistoma. We can totally interpret your finger blurfs. Yeah, so yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of nurse practitioner we end up getting, but I won't. I mean, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I have some wood here. Knock, knock. I don't have to see my doctor until my next annual, hopefully. When hopefully I will have even better health markers. That's my goal. Since I improved so much this year and it made me so happy. Alright, so I'm just taking a little white and kind of bringing up some of the areas I'd like to stand out. Yeah, I like give and take too, right? Highlight up here. I mean, because I'm the kind of person who likes to be proactive about my health, so... And I also like a doctor who tries not to be too biased. Like... There was one nurse I dealt with in the past who was like, when she found out I was on a keto diet, she was just like all negative on it. And I'm like, but my biomarkers are better than they've ever been. And the doctor, when she heard that, is like, well, heck, stay on it, right? So it's got to be kind of like that. Like, I don't like somebody coming in, like, because I tend to, always be kind of fine-tuning, like, what I'm doing. Like, some doctors hate, if you're a runner, they're just like, oh, you're just going to wreck your knees, right? Instead of looking at the fact that your cholesterol is down by 20 points since you started running, right? All that kind of thing. So I kind of like it when a doctor can put their biases aside and at least engage with the data as it stands, right? What's the greater good? I mean, whether my knees, I grind down the cartilage in my knees is yet to be seen, right? But that's going to take like at least a decade, and in the meantime, my biomarkers are great. All right, so I just wanted to get some more white in there. I'm missing some of the yellow back here, but I don't so much mind. All right, these are the colors I think I'm going to work with. I still feel like I might want something just a little brighter green. I am going to mix up a slightly brighter green, and then we'll just go for it. Kiki, why are you such a jerk this morning? She's so barky this morning. I don't know what it is. Kiki, enough. Settle. Work. There we go. That's kind of neon. Oh, that's good, Marich. Yeah, it's nice when they come around. 'Cause yeah, I don't care if they voice concerns. But if something is really working well for my health and they just dump on it, then I'm just kind of like eyebrows, you know. I mean, he might actually also care, Twistonoma. I mean, yeah, it's like some people are doctors like for different reasons, right? Like, I know my old doctor in Texas, who I really liked. She got into medicine because she actually cared about people and she wanted to help people, right? But not every doctor like is like that. Sometimes some of them get into it because they want to make a difference, as far as like, like kind of like they view it as like curing the patient is kind of like a challenge for them, I guess. But there's as many reasons, I'm sure, to be a doctor as there are to be a miniature painter. Maybe more, because the doctor takes such a ridiculous like training cycle. Like, medical school is not for wimps. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely different types of chiropractor, right? Like, my sister's a good one. My sister-in-law, I should say, is a good one. She's not a bone witch. Hey, Dogfather, long time no see. 65 months. Thank you for the resub. We are just, like, finishing the ghosty parts on Ghosty Horse here. I'm just putting some detailing in, and then we're going to cover over this red armor with blue and go for that, so I think it's going to work better. That's true for many of you. For some of you, it's afternoon. I'm just sitting here in the morning because I'm out on the west, buried out on the west coast. But yeah, I want to keep these tendrils coming out of the... Oh, it's Kara. Kara with the secret project I can't talk about. Right. Got it. She always has a secret project going, guys. Like, never think that woman doesn't have a secret project. It's probably a giant goose miniature STL that you have to print in multi-part. That's what I thought, a giant goose. Knife goose. There we go. It's like the new, it's the new Pennywise. It's a knife goose, a 6-foot-tall knife goose. Pretty sure that'd be pretty horrifying. I'm glad that it printed well, though. I guess. Mostly because it's not stalking me. Codename Shh. Yes. If you sculpted the cave whale, do you think Ron would have to buy it? I don't. It depends on how desperate he is when it comes to Bones 7. I feel like that is a serious like question mark at that point. How desperate is Ron for models to fill in the tiers of Bone 7 when Bone 7 ever gets to come around? Is it a whale shark or is it? I don't know if I want a cave whale. But if it looks like a whale shark, maybe. I like whale sharks. They're the only shark I'm like okay being in the water with. Hypothetically. But I like dungeons are like always 5 by 5 foot tiles. How are you gonna fit a cave whale in there? Like, I would just think that cave whale ecology, just by itself, would be improbable. You would need a supersized dungeon for it. So we're just popping in some of this brighter green, and I'm going to bring in my dungeon slime mix to blend it in. Improbability has never stopped me. I just have concerns about cave whale ecology. I'm just going to voice them. You have your foibles, and I have mine. I'm going to put just a little, there's a little bit of detailing here where the kind of the grooves of ectoplasm are coming up, so I want to bring that out. If it's a plastic bag, stay away. I'm going to put a little bit darker green under here. Hard to paint around some of this, but we'll figure it out. Yes, a subterranean sea could totally handle a whale. But aren't you? I mean, I don't think you understand, Kara, how much of a special skill set it is. You should understand this. You probably do understand this, actually, since you are an artist. How hard it is to do likenesses like the Derek Schubert bust. It is just so hard, so difficult. It's one of the most difficult things in art. And yet, you can do it. So I would not sell thyself short as a sculptor. But yeah, down here on the bottom, as I mentioned, we're not so concerned with keeping the light coming through the figure. So we can pretty much paint over everything. So what I'm hearing, Maricha Quindy, is that it's not brave, it's stupid that I'm going to be like snorkeling in the ocean in 2 weeks. The evil, evil ocean that I know is going to betray me. Because it always does. But there will be lots of people around me, and I am confident of being able to grab someone near me and throw them into the shark's mouth. So, hopefully it's not my brother, but you know. I have a tiny little support that I missed down here. I'm going to try to grab it. There it is. A lot of support. The downside of this model is a lot of little support nubbins you just can't really get to. It's okay, cave whales don't eat people. I mean, maybe not, but they might kill you. Especially if you get in between them and their food. I'm not convinced of the benevolence of cave whales. Just trying to get some of this green in here. Just want a little bit of variance in there. You can see it coming out. Yes, or their baby, it's true. So just a little bit, I want just a little bit, well, we'll get a lot more over here, right? This is still undone, but this side's starting to look about right. The chaotic evil ones do. The chaotic evil cave whale. Kiki thinks that's bark-worthy. There's not a cave whale near us, Bubs. You're far away from cave whales. And we're just getting those light greens in there so you can see those coming in. 17 years brute forcing your way into artistic disciplines. Yes. Well, that's, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how people get good at art. You do it and you're bad at it and you accept that you're bad at it and you just brute force your way and get into getting better by just keep on doing it. You refuse to let the universe tell you you're bad at it. That's how you get good at art. You refuse to accept that and you just keep working. Like, it's also what's true for anything else. Like, oh, I don't know, running or, you know, anything you want to start that you're not good at out the gate. I mean, let's face it, I suck at running. I was the slowest runner that I have honestly ever heard of. Like, and I mean that. Like, in every running book, in every running podcast, and in every, like, running YouTube channel, and all this, all these examples of people that they give, like, you know, and this is where they started, and now look at them. None of them, zero, were as slow as I was. Zero. And I'm still running. 2 years later. More or less. I think it's about 2 years now, is it? It's 224. We're going to be, yeah, kind of. Yeah, ish. Yeah, it's the ultimate commit to the bit. Yep. Yeah, everybody, Twistoma, everybody starts out bad at art. Everybody. Like, I was bad at art. Like, I think the people who you'll say are exceptions are, like, the people who, like, are doing really good drawings when they're, like, you know, 15 or whatever. But you got to understand that the only advantage those people had was that they started doing their crappy drawings when they were 5. Right? So they started before you, and they got their crap out of the way earlier. Like, and people call that talent, but it's really not. It's just that they started early enough to get their crap out of the way when they were still kids. And so then they roll into their 20s and they look really good. I mean, that was me, really. There are knacks, like, yeah, as far as, like, innate dexterity, hand-eye motor, but you can also train that. Like, I started out thinking there was some talent in the world, and now I'm going farther and farther away from believing in talent. Like, in sports, for sure, there's physical aptitudes that, like, you know, that will help you be a better swimmer or gymnast or runner. Like, as far as, like, the length of your limbs, the torso to limb ratio, all that kind of crap. Will it give you a helping hand? Sure. But mindset is the most important thing as far as being a success. Like, over and over and over I see this. Yes, and that's a problem even in today's world as well, seriously. People believe too much in talent, and they believe that, you know, if you're really good at something, you're going to be good out the gate, and that is a lie. Or worse yet, you are good out of the gate, but you don't have a relative mode of measuring it, right? Like, you may do a thing, and it may be objectively better than 95% of other people who do that thing for their first time. But it still looks bad compared to, like, people who are more experienced, and nobody recognizes that it actually, you know, is better. Like, you don't have a metric. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, there's definitely, like, some advantages. Although I think with art, it's probably, like, your mental and personality strengths, maybe, that influence more. That's still related to, like, kind of who you are rather than what you are, though. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion. Like I said, I've gone back and forth on it throughout my life. And then the question is, right, okay, I start running. I'm running at a 17:30 per mile pace, guys, 17:30. Most of the time when people talk about slow runners, they're talking about 14 or 15-minute runners. I was a 17-minute runner, and on my bad days, I was an 18-minute-a-mile runner. I could have walked faster. But, you know, now I'm getting faster. So what happens, like, then if, you know, if I train really hard and I get to the point where I'm, like, winning my age group category at races, right? What if I win my age group category at a big race? Like, are people going to look at me and say, oh, you know, talented? You know, because there's that saying that people just don't see all the cracked plates behind you. They only see the 12 that you're juggling. So, you know, I don't think anybody starts with technical ability. Yes, observation skills, copying skills. Yes, those are personality traits. Yes. So I would say, and this is again the strengths thing that I'm into, the Clifton strengths thing. But yes, you're right. There are many strengths that would give you kind of an advantage. But being able to leverage those is still, like, you know, I was a very creative, I like my discipline and ideation, which is creativity, are 2 of my top 10. But I still sucked. Like, as far as actually executing on stuff and iterating on stuff. I could have been better earlier, but I wasn't. So part of it is really... But yeah, I will agree that, like, some traits are definitely going to give you an up. Right, yes. Yeah, so he has good hand-eye. Right, and he's able to leverage that, right? Being able to compare stuff, to draw what you see, right? But I still don't believe that means that if you don't have that, that does not mean you won't be, like, actually a better artist than that person if you keep with it, right? That's the thing. Like, the problem with talking about talent is that then the immediate thought by anybody who, like, has any aspirations to be, like, really good at something is, oh, but if I don't have that, then that's probably not the thing I should be spending my time doing. And that's not true. Right, so he's probably been doodling for years, and that built up his hand-eye, right? Okay, getting a little bit too close up here. I don't want to get too dark. I still want this lower part to look lighter, so I gotta be careful when I'm blocking in some of these darker colors. But I think that's still looking okay. That goes even further into the Clifton strength stuff, though, because some folks are low on that learner strength. And they can't actually learn anything they set their mind to. Like, it's not part of their skill set. They have to leverage other strengths for it. Like, maybe learning is really hard for them, but they leverage the fact that they're really determined. Or, Kiki! Probably a delivery person. One second, I'm going to have to go. Enough! Settle. In here with me now! Kiki! Right now! In here with me. Come on. In the office. Settle. You can't see anything in the outside world anymore. Nope. I'm not going to deal with that crap, and your dad is not disciplining you. So, settle. Yeah, you're stuck here now. You're stuck here with us. Yeah, mom voice seriously coming up. Yeah, that's the answer I tend to say, too. Given time, effort, you probably could do it. Right, exactly. Settle now. No, you have to settle. Yeah, settle down. Good girl. Yeah, you don't get to go running around barking anymore. Nope, you get to stay in here with mom. Boredom City. Yeah, Boredom City. Nope, that's what, no, you gotta stay in here. No choices anymore. You didn't listen. But yeah, some people essentially can get around they find it hard to learn, but they can get around that by just being an innovative thinker, or just by being, determined, or being very structured, right? Having a structure. There's always a way, even if you don't have a strength, there's always a way to channel something similar, or almost always a way. There's a way to get around it. There's a way to use your natural potential to, like, figure out what you can do. No, settle down, Kiki. Nope, you don't get to go out there. You were a bad girl. Sorry. Bad girls have to settle down. She's very disgruntled because David's out in the main room. Working from home because he has a dentist appointment this afternoon. Doctor this morning, dentist this afternoon means why bother going into work? Alright, so I think that's looking pretty good. There's not a lot going on up here on this tendril, but I don't want to put too much dark color up there. But yeah, I think you're 100% right, Kara, that really what it comes down to is you're willing to put in the time effort. In other words, you have to give a crap. You have to decide that you want to do it. And, often it helps if pressure is, like, bad for you. It often helps to just decide to do it just for the heck of it. Just to say you don't care how it turns out. You're just going to give it a try. Take the pressure off yourself. Yeah, for sure, Defiant. I'm pretty sure he's not a sadist. I'm pretty sure he just forgot on one of those appointments and got the other one. Well, the dentist had been set for, like, four or 5 months, right? And then the doctor was entirely because he sliced his thumb open, or his finger open. So he had to go to the ER and get stitches. So yeah, he didn't plan the doctor visit, but this was the day they had to get stitches out for his dog, Pendrake. Now she thinks she's going to be bad and get let out. And instead, I'm going to put something scary in front of that door thing. Talk about a brat. You guys are seeing the brat now. Bratty Kiki. Oh, let's see. What scary object can I put in front of that? Oh, look. I can put this scary object in front of it. Oh, you think you're smart, but you're not. Settle. Settle for 5 minutes and I'll let you out. Come on, Keeker, settle down. She's like, wait, that didn't work. Kiki is funny. Yeah, you a funny dog? But Daddy's out there and he's my favorite human. Well, you should have thought about that before your brain went off. And your mouth followed. Come here, Keeks. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've got a brush in my hand. Sorry. Sorry. Not sorry. Yeah, can you settle down for 5 minutes? If you settle down for 5 minutes, I'll let you out to be with Daddy again. Yes. But you gotta settle down for 5 minutes. Yep. That's where we be, Bubba. That's where we be. That's what we'll be at. She's like, you're just so cruel. Mama is so cruel, everybody. You're all witnessing this. You're all witnessing the cruelty. The horrible regime I live under. Yeah, I know, Keeks. Everyone has the greatest sympathy for you. I'm a terrible dog owner. Terrible. Doing a little bit of wet blending to get this stuff to blend in. Enough. Settle down and shut up. Now she's just being a brat. She's essentially trying all of her tricks to see if she can annoy me enough that I'll throw her out of the room. Yeah, go settle down. Yep. Good girl. Good settle. Good girl. Good girl. All right. Actually, I'll give her what she wants now. Good girl. You settled. What a good girl. All right. But no more of that shit, Kiki. I'm going to shut you out. Bye, Crowley. Yeah, sorry about that. Yup. I'm sorry you have a trying day, Crowley. I hope it goes as fast as can be expected. Sorry, getting my green, some water added to my darker green, guys, so I can bring in a little bit down here on the bottom. But yeah, that said about all that stuff, it's not like you have to like push yourself at mini painting, or it's not like you have to get good at it. As long as you enjoy it, that's the important thing. But there's definitely an older narrative that says that art is like this innate talent and some people have it and some people don't, and I do think that's bullhooey. And just because you don't think you have it, Twistoma, doesn't mean you shouldn't try to draw like a tribal design of some sort. I mean, worst case scenario, you just like, freeze frame, find a picture or a freeze frame from that Avatar movie, and you look at the designs and you pick a really simple one and you do that. And that'll probably be enough for you to be happy with it. Yes. Even if talent, yeah. Enjoyment is 100% more important than get good. Yep. Yes. And even if you feel you're not talented, it doesn't mean you can't try it. And it doesn't mean that it won't work. I saw that plenty of times at Paint Club where people thought they couldn't do X, Y, or Z, and they just tried it, and it turned out like it wasn't like expert level, but it turned out well enough for them to be really happy about it. So you always gotta try. If you really care about it. Don't let the fear that it's gonna suck make you not try. Because, as I've mentioned many times, it's so easy to paint over acrylics. If you mess it up, you can just paint over it. It's not a big deal. Yep. So true. Kara's right. World's okayest mini painter. Yes. Didn't Sergio have that? He had a shirt with that on it. The okayest mini painter. And you know what? That's all that matters is like, are you having fun? Are you enjoying it? Do you enjoy using your ability, such as it is? Yeah, good. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of white here on the tops, just to make sure we keep this light. Yep, if you can't because you choose not to, then that's one thing. Alright, we're almost there. And then once we're there, we're gonna black in the armor a different color and we'll see how we feel. World's most likely to start crap. Yes. I have socks that are like that. I have a pair of socks that says most likely to say it to your face. And it's true. The problem, I love like, like awesome socks, but my problem with them is that they're either really lightweight and they're too hot, too warm to wear for summer and for warmer seasons, or they're too they're either too lightweight to wear for winter, even though they're long socks, or they're too but they're too long to wear for summer. Like they're fully, they've got the full thing. They're not ankle socks. That said, I did wear my sparkly seahorse socks over the weekend. But it's like all the decorative socks are long socks. They're not ankle socks. But they also tend to be pretty lightweight. It's like you can only wear them for a short time in spring and fall. I'm a mini painter. Y'all want to fight? Yeah, you need to get a Zazzle store, Kara. I was gonna do one, but then I was like, I really don't have that many ideas of what to put up there, and it's just one more thing for me to like keep an eyeball on. I decided I didn't have any extra eyeballs. Maybe we need the Beholder Anne model. Never the correct height, it's true. Actually, I have found a pair of socks that I absolutely love now. Or a brand. They're toe socks. Most people can't stand them because they're the ones that have holes for all your toes. So they're separated toe socks. And I've tried them before and didn't like them, but this new brand I like a lot. And I wear them when I do my long runs. They're very comfy. And they're not too tall. And they're soft. And they come in cool colors. Now they're my go-to socks for longer running. Yeah, you don't like toe socks. I love toe socks now. I don't wear them. I don't like them like during the day, like regularly kicking around the house, but when I'm doing anything exertion-wise, a lot of people use them for hiking or long runs because they are supposed to reduce blisters. Like they keep your toes from rubbing together and getting blisters, which is important to me. I would rather avoid blisters if possible. I got them really bad when David and I snowshoed. When I snowshoed for the first time, we went out and David was like, let's go out for like an hour and a half. And that was way too long for me to be in snowshoes when I'd never done them before. I had a terrible, huge blisters on the bottom of my feet. David looked rather shamefaced and apologized to me afterwards because it had not occurred to him that would happen because he had never gotten... It had been such a long time since he had first snowshoed, probably that he had forgotten that it does actually place some like extra stress on your feet to be walking weirdly for, an hour and a half, 2 hours. That was in Yosemite. I didn't regret it. And the blisters actually popped like right at the end of the whole thing, so I didn't have to deal with blisters that were painful and hadn't popped. But I did have to put bandages all over my feet. Oh yeah, I love wool socks. I have a lot of merino wool that I wear during the winter. I'm a sock lover. Like, I regularly ask for comfy socks for winter, for Christmas. My mom finds the best ones. Ooh, alpaca wool sweatshirt. Nice. Alright, I'm just trying to blend in some of these thingy hoosits. That looks good. This is looking good. I think we might be there. Maybe a little bit more right here on the back. I haven't done a lot there. Yeah, sticky notes and comfy socks specifically. I even wear fuzzy socks sometimes at night. Like, I can't stand going to bed with cold feet. So I wear fuzzy socks to bed. I did last night because it was so freaking cold. The problem is our bathroom, the tile gets so cold at night in the winter. And I know I'm going to get up at least once. So Oh, nice Muppet legs. Sweet. Oh, I had the highest sleep score I've ever gotten on Saturday night to Sunday morning. Sleep scores are out of 100, and my Garmin has always been more hardcore about this. It doesn't like to give high scores, but it gave me a 95. I almost felt a little bit fuzzy all day because I'd gotten so much sleep. It felt like my brain was drunk on sleep. There we go. All right, I think that's good. Notice though, and this is the thing that, this is why watercolorists leave the paper to be white. But the places where we kept it white with the primer are brighter than the whites we get by painting white over it. Even when it's a very light green, painting the white over it just never gets as bright. Can get close, but not quite. So for this model, because this was kind of a translucent, and I wanted to keep some of this translucence, we definitely kept some of that white primer so that the light could come through. So we didn't get we can still see that there's light coming through if we look into the horsey's mouth, and we don't get a super dark shadow in there. And that's because the light is still moving through the plastic. Whereas if you look down under, you get a much darker grayer shadow because we've closed off all of that. So yeah, it lets our horsey's head especially look more ethereal. Yeah, I haven't gotten that part yet. I had the legs are my next stop. So we're gonna, because I definitely went too green over here. Thanks for the reminder. There's probably more ghosty stuff on him too, like the head of the skeleton. But I want to just put a little bit more of the green back here. Oh, sorry. There we go. We got too close, that's why. Ah. Yeah, there's still green to do, like the skeleton's face and stuff, so. But that's fine. We can block this in. It's got a little bit of green on it, but I haven't done the green, the bright yellow green. The bottom of it's done. Today is just like, I have a lot to do and I just know I'm not going to get it all done. Like going into it, I know. Alright, now I'm going to get out some blue liner. Actually, I've got it right out already. And we'll cover over this red. No, the tombstone spacing is going to be painted normally, and we're going to do a lighting effect probably on it with the green, but I don't feel like doing that today, since I just finished working on the base for the other guy. I'm sick of painting base. I want to paint something different today. So I'm going to take blue liner, and I'm going to, I will lighten it just a little bit, because I want the blue to show through. If you use blue liner full strength without thinning, it does tend to look very black, which is fine. Ooh, a big glob of paint on the white here. And get that off with a Kleenex. Boop. Oh, the Christmas, the jazz guy for David's parents. David groused about it after I worked on it. He wanted the front has more dark red shadows, and he wanted those, and I'm like, that wasn't the stage I was on. I'm gonna put a little bit more in here. So now I have to do the darker red magenta shadows on all those flowers, because you know. All right, we're gonna get that color about right. Blue steel. Hey there, Matthew. Sup? All right, let's cover up this red that's just not working. And this is just an example of, like, just paint over it, folks. If you paint it and it doesn't turn out, or it doesn't look as good as you wanted, or you don't like the color, or whatever, just paint over it. I have to be precise because I've got all this green right around it that's all set up. Oh, Bryce is fine. At least he's eyeballs. I need all the eyeballs I can get on my personal stream. And on the YouTubes. I have to like get some subjects drawn out for my YouTubes. For the new year. I want to do a few more months of putting out like 2 to 3 videos a month. Have a nice large library for people to go through. And if you guys think of anything I haven't, I'm going to tackle Shaded Metallics next, I think. And I'll probably have one more color theory video about shading colors with other colors. But other than that, there we go, that looks better. Yeah, better than the red. We'll keep going with this. So again, being really precise down here. If I get this dark color on top of the light green-white, I'm going to need to go over it with white first in order to cover it up, and then go over it with the green to touch it up. So it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but it's still not undoable. I forgot to get the red on the interior of the leg there. I need to get that. So I know AI is the thing everybody loves to hate these days, but my my author coach just made his own little brain, his own little AI, and I've been testing it for him. And it's really cool because it means that when I'm running ads, I don't have to actually like send him the metrics and ask what I should do. I can just program it, type it into the little AI prompt, and it actually analyzes it like he would. He's like got his own little mini brain now. I've been having fun with it. It's kind of, I think, almost the best use case, like one of the best use cases, where it's like, you know, it's okay, Kara. But it's like, you know, he can enter in all the commonly asked questions and like parameters and guidelines and stuff and all the videos he's done and essentially train his own little brain on it, and then it's just like having a mini mat in my pocket. It analyzed my ads this morning and told me what I should turn off and a couple ways to iterate on like my successful ad, and it was useful. And it's not like, you know, not an AI that was trained on like stuff without permission, right? Because he entered it all of his stuff into it. So I kind of feel like it's a good use. It's a good use of it. Yeah. Well, I assume, Pendrake, that you essentially just get like the software essentially, which gives you a blank brain, and then you feed it. In his case, he's got a ton of video courses, like hours and hours and hours, plus a lot of articles and stuff, and you know, also newsletters that he's written, and he can train it on all that. And so essentially he can make his own little AI brain that thinks like he does and makes decisions like he does. So then, instead of me, his coaching client, having to, you know, text him and wait for answers, I could just enter it into his little brain. And if I want to, I can always double check with him. But yeah, it's really kind of cool. I suspect this is coming next, guys. Is people making their own AIs and then, like, you know, subscription access. I think that's... Because the thing is that it's so much better for specific things. So it's very interesting. I don't know. There are... I mean, there's Pro Writing Aid, which is it's an editor, but it's not. And you're probably thinking of stuff like that, Pendrake. And David is not reprimanding Kiki, which is why the door is closed. There we go. Yeah, that is where it could be cool. Oh yeah, for sure, Defiant, right. Yeah. But in this case, it's the top-ranked answer from him, and it's, you know, that's like the difference, right? Like if I typed this same information into like a generic AI, it wouldn't give me as good of an answer because it hasn't been trained on these specific things and only these specific things. And of course, and his actually explains its reasoning. So, and like I said, I can also just, you know, text him and say, hey, it gave me this answer, it seems kind of wonky. And get his, you know, feedback on it. But yeah, it's I mean, when it comes to just analyzing ad metrics, which, you know, I just don't have a gut feel for that yet, very useful. Very, very useful. Because that's his big thing he's good at is ads. But yeah, like having pro writing aid that, I don't know. I mean, a pro writing aid's okay, and I've been using it. I used it for 3 favors to just go through, do a pass through. But it definitely still has, like, it blurfs. It definitely, like, there are some things where it wanted me to make a change on a perfectly good sentence. And I was like, what's going to happen if I change this? And I changed it, and then it wanted me to change it back to my original perfectly good sentence. So it still, like, has some hiccups like that where I just got frustrated with it. There we go. All right, so now that we've covered up the red, that's much more harmonious with this green. It's going to work a lot better. So, I gotta get his butt. I think that's technically cloth, but I don't care. I'm going to be making everything this dark blue and black. And then I think on his cape we'll do some green, like, runes and stuff. And that'll tie him into Mr. Horse, that and having his little skull head be green. Ah! And I think I'm going to... Yeah. His little skull head also needs to stay somewhat translucent. So let's do his little skull head. Yeah, it decides that's wrong too, right? They're both wrong. Yeah, for sure, Marich. I hate that too. That's why it's good that we're fairly good at grammar, like, you know, ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to use the dark green, but really thin, just around the outsides here. Almost as a liner. Let's get closer. Yeah, I think there are definitely ways where it's really frustrating, where AI is being used in a frustrating way. But I think that this particular way that my coach guy is using it is actually really useful. It's kind of like, it's funny because, like, it was like when I was, when I released 3 favors, I ran retargeting ads. And David, like, lost his mind a little bit because he's like, wait, that's actually the perfect use of retargeting. And I'm like, yes, it is. And he's like, no, you don't understand. He just sees everybody using, like, retargeting ads the wrong way because he works in, you know, in ad fraud. So, you know, the retargeting he's used to is the one where all of your, like, things that you've looked at in your shopping carts follow you around the internet for, like, the next 2 weeks. Without regard of whether you've actually bought them or not, or bought something else, or are no longer interested, right? But authors using a retargeting ad actually makes sense and, like, is a good way to use retargeting because you're engaging only with people who've already engaged with your work. The people who actually might care that you have a new book out. Oh, yeah, for sure, Defiant. Yeah, for things like that, I think it's very, very useful. Yeah, I am not anti-AI. I'm kind of a wait and see type, and that's why I thought this was interesting because I've, you know, gotten the chance to engage with this particular usage of it, and I actually have had a good experience so far. All right, so we've got kind of our green, and I want to look at what I did with Horsey. I mostly stayed pretty pretty light in the eyes. Grammarly is your friend, yeah. Grammarly has its own artifacts and crazy stuff. So I've heard. Alrighty, we're gonna put the glowing yellow-green into the eyes. I'm gonna put a little bit of that around the outside as well. I want to keep the... I might need to do kind of a mix between this dark green and... I have to look at Horsey. Horsey, what did we do? Yeah, I did use the darker green to kind of line around Horsey's teeth. So I'm going to do the same with this guy. I'm just going to try to keep it really lightweight. There we go. So just a really light. Yeah, I'm very much a wait and see with new technologies, typically. Although I'm enthusiastic about self-driving cars at this point. I can't wait until I have to go to the airport next time and I can actually ride in one. Then I'll be able to, like, refine, in my opinion. Yeah, as long as it catches typos. The problem I run into with those programs is, like, they don't catch some of the stuff I wish they would. Like, it'll catch if I start a sentence with the same word, but it won't catch if I repeat a word otherwise twice in two sentences. Or things like that, right? Or if I'm repeating... And it'll catch if I repeat a word over the course of the document. But yeah, it's just very weird sometimes. And often when I'm repeating the word at the start of the sentence, you know, it's a pronoun that I'm repeating for stylistic reasons. But then it won't catch if I, like, say thoughtless here and thoughtlessly here, you know, like, in the same paragraph, which I do want it to catch. Alright, little teeth. These teeth are a lot tinier, it's a lot harder to pick them out. Used it for a dissertation. Figure out what paper she needs to read. Yep. Yeah, it can be useful. Yeah, I mean, exactly, the as far as it being in the hands of people who don't really seem to care about long-term repercussions, I'll agree with you there, Kara. Yep, yeah, we already have seen that, right, with Google, right? Yeah. On the other hand, it's like, for me, it's like, as you say, the barn door is open, the horse is out. What kind of horse is it going to be, right? So it's it'll be interesting to see how it all develops. But I do totally understand your mindset there. I did a lot of thinking about this. As a creative, you know, as a writer, You know, lots of writers had AI just trained on their books without their permission. And artists. And I'm both. Yes, encrapification, yep. Yeah. Well, and I think, though, Kara, there's another side to that, okay? Like, yeah, there's totally that going on. Although, so let's, like, I'm on Reddit, right? I'm on the self-publish Reddit, self-publishing Reddits, I'm on the Lit RPG, I'm on the Progression Fantasy, I'm on all these Reddits, where all these people are trying to get their books out into the world, right? And for many of them, it's a big dream of theirs, right? And there are definitely a lot of those people who are saving up money to use a real cover artist. There are also a ton of those people who are not, who are just going for an AI cover because they are broke. They are broke teenagers, or they are broke 20-somethings, or they are broke 60-year-olds, and they do not think they have the money to invest in a proper cover artist and proper editor and all that kind of thing. Those people would not have paid those people anyway, you know? So it's like, it gives them a tool to get their voice out there, you know, without having to just, you know, sit there because they don't have a cover, right? So I think there's a bit of that too. Like, some of the people, many of the people, I think, who are using AI for that kind of thing would not have used it, would not have hired a designer anyway, right? So, but then, you know, you could go back and forth on that. Nobody has exact numbers on that. It's purely anecdotal, you know. It's only what I read and see. Yeah, I worry about the fake videos too, Bryce. I worry more about that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard thing. I mean, I don't know. I trust you guys to have a civilized discussion about it. If we feel like it's going off the rails, we can shut this discussion down, but yeah, I mean, I'm open to thinking about all of these things in different ways. I mean, we really don't know. Not knowing is scary. Like, what's going to happen to the way we engage with it, how we use it, how it's going to change life, for good or for bad. Yeah. I guess that's why they call it a disruptive technology, right? Because it is. Yes, now advanced and in real time. Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's funny, Tristodoma. Well, but that's been happening over eons, right? Like, I couldn't tell you how to kill and pluck a chicken. My mom knows how, though. But yeah, it's accelerated. Everything is accelerated. Trying to get these little teeths. Trying to get them to stand out. I was going to leave his mouth kind of ghosty. It does make him look more transparent, I think. I think I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to go and color in the stuff around it. And we're going to see how his face looks. Except that, like... Here's the thing, though, Kara. I don't know that that's gonna happen. Like, I look at, right now, like, the last 10 or 20 years has also seen a resurgence in things like knitting, in quilting, in all that kind of thing. Because people, they understand that the button is really shallow. And at some point, they crave something more, right? And so there is a resurgence. And, like, the thing that I haven't seen it in is art. Yet. We'll see about that. Because digital art has definitely come up, right? And digital art and photography are what I see when I go to our county fair that I went as a kid. I see very little traditional art. Hey, Zumakito, what's up? Thanks for the raid. That's a big one. So yeah, I don't know, like, and again, like, this is my own experience, and it could be wrong. Like, I could have a more positive view than is warranted. But I do see that, like the knitting thing has totally, like, been booming for the last, 10, 15 years? More? 20? I guess in the 70s is when it started really popping up. So I think there's a ray of hope there. I think there's, like... I think that people do understand the value of things that are handmade. Not as much as they don't have to interface with it like they used to, though, right? It used to be that everything was handmade, and now less and less is. But yeah. 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 I mean, the best we can do is, and this is another way that miniature painting helps. People always underestimate our hobby so much. But guys, this is entry-level art. Like, this is the entry-level drug for art. Like, people who never thought they could be creative paint miniatures. And love it. And they paint miniatures for other people for Christmas, right? And their friends. And they paint, miniatures for video game, or for their games and all the rest. And that's something that, like, our hobby is booming. So, I don't know. You can tell I'm a positivity person. Even when the chips are down, I'm going to try to take a positive mindset, because for me that's more useful. Because it usually will show me a direction that I want to go in. But I don't want to, not give credence to your fears, Kara, because they're real. And possibly more valid than my positivitying. Yeah. Yes, mini painters come from everywhere. Yes, exactly. And that's the great thing. It's like the super great thing about our hobby. Like, there are so many great things about our hobby, but like, the skills that I picked up from mini painting, like, I could go back to canvas now and I could do so much better than I ever did when I was in art school. I think most of this, guys, is going to be this blue armor, so I'm going to actually just block it all in. I might decide to do a green. Well, maybe I should do a green glowing bit in here. Hold on, I'm getting ideas now. Oh no, ideas. So we're working on, I should say for Uzumakido's people, hello, I'm Anne. Sorry, we're in the middle of a in-depth discussion when you walked in. We're painting Ghosty Horse, and I'm working on Ghosty Horse's rider now. We're still working a little bit on our stuff from ReaperCon. I like to say we're painting Halloween minis in December. So it's just, there we go. So if we get him on there, we can see that his little green face does tie him to Ghosty Horse, so that's good. I don't know if I really want to do a green section there on his chest. I mean, it's kind of like, I almost want to make it glowy. Yeah, and I have high positivity. Like, I am very much a look toward the future with a positive mindset to try to create the one you want. Like, that's my shtick, right? But yeah, they need both of us. Because, if things go bad, we need the people who can understand the problem and fix things. And we also still need the people who can push forward toward a more positive future. So yeah, it works together. But yeah, I think like mini painting is actually a bastion in the physical arts, the manual arts, if you will. I mean, eventually the 3D printers will get to the point where we can digitally paint a mini and then print it in all the colors. But we're not there yet. And people still enjoy learning to actually paint at this point. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's always good and bad. I'm just going to paint this in. Give him fancy armor down here. And I might paint in that chest part. I've got kind of an idea of treating it like a glowing kind of heart, but I'm not sure I'm going to like that. So for now, we'll leave it white while I block in the rest of this stuff. Yeah, they're getting pretty good. It's when you can paint your own, Polly. But then that's still digital painting, so it's still art. Like, it's a thing. All these tools. Yeah, like, I can knit a bit, and I enjoy knitting. But I would, like, I'm happy I can go out and buy my own socks and not have to knit my own. Oh, I can't tell if that's cloth. There isn't on that side. Darn it, I hate it when minis have, like, these areas where you can't tell, where it's not, I don't think it's, I mean, see, and I don't know. Like, okay, writers right now, we're dealing with the fact, yeah, this is definitely cloth in here, but I feel like over here, oh, there's a tiny bit, okay. I was thinking it wasn't symmetrical, and that was driving me absolutely nuts. But there is a tiny little bit of cloth in there. It's just his arm is down on this side, so you don't see that strap of cloth. Well, okay, as a writer, we are already living in that world. There are AI books flooding Amazon all the time. People are just pretty much using AI to write their book and put it out. So we're already dealing with that. And I can tell you, at least with writing, there's still a human element that cannot be replaced by the computers. Not yet. I don't know if it will be. Humans are a little bit random, and I don't know how well computers truly do random. But we're holding our own. I mean, I'm a creative too, Kara. I get it. I just look at it and I don't see a computer being able to write Bear Kings. Like, not now, maybe not for quite a while. But, man, Kiki's so barky today. But yeah, oh, it's 11:20. Wow, we're late. Yeah, yeah, like Winnie just noticed too. Yep. I'll come back in and make some gold edging on this. Oh, David, come on. Kiki's just over the, like, way out of it this morning, guys. He is not dealing with her. Oh, well. Anyway, I'm going to finish this shoulder pad. I don't think so, Pendrake. I really don't want to throw Ghostly out into the air. I want it to be a focal point. So if I make the flail all green, that pulls attention away from the horse and the rider. I don't want that. Kiki, enough! Yeah, David goes to deal with her after I yell. Darn it. Parenting. Parenting, dang it. Yeah. Oh, good. That's a plus. Yeah, it'll go through an ugly phase. All the minis I'll go through an ugly phase. Almost all. It's a rare mini where you don't have an ugly phase. I'm just going to finish the shoulder pad, guys, then we can call it. But yeah, thanks for having a discussion in a reasonable way about, I know it can be an incendiary topic, but I appreciate y'all keeping it, like, you know, chill and civil and sharing your viewpoints. Yeah, we'll just have to do it. This is an easy mix, the blue liner plus a little bit of white. So I'll be able to recreate it no problem when it comes to time to do it. And here, yeah, I'm still thinking about this chest area. I'm going to do everything else, and I'm going to decide whether to make that chest area green or just to keep his face green. And I've got to think about this section too, and whether I want to do the sleeve, the little scale mail on the sleeves in like kind of a brass, or if I want to probably still make it this color. Right. No more koi killer fish. Yeah, that makes sense, Marge. It can be hard to make a koi pattern look good. I speak from experience. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how we got, how far we got today. We are actually working on our ghosty dude now. So Horsey is set. I do like what we've got going on right now, so we'll just keep moving with it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and it will be basing day, I guess, is what we're at. So we'll probably continue Kid Adventurer, and we'll maybe work on Turtle. I haven't come up with base ideas for Cat Guy and Pathfinder Guy, and maybe we'll just kind of like brainstorm a little bit on that. But yeah, and of course, you guys, I value all of you for more than your eyeballs. Thanks for the discussion, and thanks for coming on. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, all right? I'm going to have a busy rest of my day. And it's a pretty stressful week, but I'm trying to keep it as chill as I can right now. Thanks for hanging in there with a longer stream, and yes, many hearts, everybody. And Quindy, thank you for modding. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Bye!